We are here in Lima, Peru. It's our first ever time in South America. We couldn't be more excited to be here. Of course, we're here to eat all the food, ceviche, fresh seafood, potatoes, and we're going to Central, one of the restaurants we've been dreaming about. We're gonna go meet with Virgilio and Pia and find out what Peruvian cuisine is all about.
I'm Virgilio Martinez and this is Central.
Central means the center.
Central. Was going to be the center.
No?
Centro.
Claro.
Because at one point the kitchen was going to
In the
be
middle.
in the middle, in the centro. It was going to be a central kitchen.
Virgilio Martinez opened his restaurant Central in 2009. Maybe you've seen his episode on Chef's Table. Today, his restaurant is also a research lab called Mater.
At Central, the menu showcases different altitudes to different elevations and different ecosystems. A way to perceive better our agriculture, our food system is to see the world in a vertical way. In Central, you go from the sea to the coast and to the mountains, the Andes, and then to the Amazon.
When you walk in, you're presented with some of the things you'll eat during your meal. Each section represents different ecosystems and their native ingredients, like tubers, potatoes, corn, and cacao. Central has 4 different tasting menus, but all of the menus follow the same structure, showcasing ingredients at different altitudes in Peru. We picked the Mater Mundo menu on our visit. As Virgilio said, you start below sea level, you journey into the Amazon, you climb to the top of the Andes Mountains, and you enjoy many delights along the way. To drink, we tried the juice pairing, and it was the best non-alcoholic pairing we've ever had. Our first juice was based on sea cucumber and seaweed. We also enjoyed the local pairing, featuring wines from all over South America, as well as house-made cocktails. This bright green elixir is made with Peruvian sugarcane spirit, a seaweed ice cube, and prickly pear juice. First, we were presented with a series of snacks from the sea, specifically from 10 meters below sea level. Central uses lots of natural dyes to create their fantastic presentation. This vibrant bite is made with sea lettuce, razor clams, and spirulina, which gives it that crazy blue color. The black ball plays with the textures of squid and uses squid ink in the dough. Last but not least, a crab shell is filled with crab, seaweed, and an emulsion of crab head juice. The next juice combined avocado and passion fruit. This had such a nice acidity and creaminess. Look at that beautiful color. Here is a dish based on loche, a Peruvian squash, with shrimp, avocado, foam made from the squash, and colorful powders made from the skin of the squash. This dish is from 55 meters above sea level, and yes, it tastes as good as it looks. An unusual but tasty sidecar of barnacles with sour cream accompanied this section of the meal. The bread serving was made with ingredients from the high jungle, at 1350 meters above sea level. We were brought 2 types of bread, both made from different kinds of potato. We were instructed to dip the first one into a yogurt drizzled with yucca root syrup. This was an amazing sweet and savory combo. The other bread was made from flying potatoes and topped with a hibiscus flower ferment. On the side was an acidic dip made from the cacao fruit. This one reminded us of a fluffy Neapolitan pizza crust. Our meal continued to the highest of heights, extreme altitude, 4,200 meters above sea level. In the bowl was a puree made from 5 varieties of corn, topped with a red corn crisp and kiwicha grain, cooked in a reduction of purple and golden corn. This was really tasty, with the flavor of caramelized corn. The next bite was also made from corn, a toast topped with a pejerrey fish. The next juice was made from cacao fruit and wild oregano. This jungle plant has some spicy notes, which brought a fresh herbaceousness to the pairing. We plunged back under the sea and enjoyed a serving of grouper fish, clam juice, and capers. This was an incredible dish with lots of contrasting textures. On the side, a small skewer of lobster and local chili, served on a flower. We headed into the Amazon at 148 meters above sea level for our next course, the paiche, an Amazonian river snake. The cured belly of the paiche was served with a cream of yuca, dried and smoked pork, fish powder, and Amazonian spices. Its tongue was served on a side skewer, and somehow tasted like caramel. Look at the crazy scales on this river snake. The next juice was a highlight. Their take on tepache, a fermented pineapple juice made with a corn ferment. We trekked into the deserts of Lima at 55 meters above sea level for a serving of raw scallops, cream, coral, and sweet potato skin. Have you ever eaten clay? This was our first time trying edible clay, along with octopus and an emulsion of sea lettuce and seaweed. Surprisingly, the flavors of the emulsion reminded us of fresh basil. On the side, a small serving of cauliflower and cream. Next up was a dish from the Lab at Meal, their restaurant in the Andes Mountains, 3,600 meters above sea level. This course is a celebration of Andean culture, featuring lamb, potato puree, egg yolk, and kushuro algae spheres. It was served alongside some varieties of tubers and vegetables for meal. The following juice was made with wild jungle cilantro and loche squash ferment. The alcoholic pairing made a cocktail with Peruvian cane spirit and cocona juice. We dived into the Amazon lake at 190 meters above sea level. Here we enjoyed a serving of pacu fish, a relative of the piranha, with watermelon, coconut cream, and cocoa leaf oil. This tasted almost like a ceviche, light, acidic, and fresh. Pia presented us with our next dish, from the hill forest at 2,700 meters above sea level. Pork belly was paired with a local pepper and topped with thin sticks made from pork-on mushrooms. This was so good, tender, and delicious. The final savory course was from the Andes Mountains. Goat was served with oyukos, a type of tuber, and a sauce made with different varieties of chilies. The coconut juice readied our palates for the sweet section of the meal. Our desserts came from the Sacred Valley, at 2,700 meters above sea level. First, chirimoya, custard apple, was served with a nectar of kabuya root, which is like agave, a crisp of munya mint, and a biscuit made from honey and yogurt. Next was a refreshing granita, topped with honey and macambo, which is an ingredient related to cacao. The final smattering of sweets showcased that cacao is so much more than just chocolate. The chuncho cacao, from 1,800 meters above sea level, is opened a la minute, so guests can taste different parts of the cacao, from the skin to the seeds. We tried a cacao nib paste, a warm infusion made from the cacao shell, a cacao shell kombucha, an ice cream made from the cacao shell, a cacao bean sponge, and a ganache with a crisp. Our meal at Central was an out-of-this-world, mind-blowing food experience that instantly soared into the top meals of our life. This restaurant was the main reason for our trip to Peru, and it did not disappoint. We had very high expectations, and it blew them away. The flavors were delicious, the philosophy inspiring, Virgilio and Pia's passion so evident. A truly thought-provoking meal with an abundance of ingredients that were completely new to us. Yet nothing was challenging. Everything was delicious and very comfortable in taste. This place is worth planning a trip around. We consider Central the Noma of South America. Central has been climbing its way up the world's 50 best restaurants list for the last decade. Will this be the year it finally takes the #1 spot? If you like our work, support us on Patreon, where we also have a food community called The Hungries. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more food and travel videos. And be sure to follow us on Instagram at Andershusa and Carnivore. Thanks for watching!